Hello, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be repotting some flowers outside, or just potting them up really, and I'm also going to be repotting an angel wing begonia that I've had for about 8 years now. It's been languishing a little bit in its pot that it's always been in. I've never repotted it. It was also my aunt's before it was mine, and I just want to put it in a different pot and, you know, refresh the soil and everything. It needs some help, and I've kind of had it in a dark corner for a while waiting for me to actually get a pot to repot it in, and so it's also not doing as good as it used to because of that too. So we're gonna do that, and I got so many different flowers for my patio that are shade-loving plants, and I get mostly shade on my patio because it faces north, so I get a little bit of morning sun on one end and then I get a little bit of evening sun on the other end, so you know, it works out pretty good, and I end up with very happy plants up there. So I'm going to be doing that. And we also got some walking onions too that are from a friend that it's kind of a native plant. Walking onions are just incredible. So we're going to be doing that. Also, we are almost at 2,000 subscribers. So we need about 100 more subscribers. So if you want to get in on my giveaway, I've been making some macrame and collecting seeds and things, so I'm going to be having 3 winners. So if you want to get in on that giveaway, then make sure that you're subscribed and you have your notification bell turned on, so that way you know when I post my video about it. So I'm really excited, and I love giving gifts. It's one of my favorite things. So hopefully this goes well and I can manage to do it right, and then that way whenever we hit any more milestones or whenever I feel like it, we can do more giveaways, because I love giving people things and it's just so much fun. So I'm really excited. Anyways, oh, I got a new plant though that I'm really excited for. It's just a cutting, and it only has 2 leaves right now, but it's gotten those 2 leaves since I got the cutting. And in my next houseplant tour, which will be here pretty soon, I'm going to show it to you. It's really cool, and I mean, it's one that's getting to be fairly common, but I'm really excited about it. So anyways, yeah, let's get to the video. First, let's visit the quail. We have been raising quail for the last few months, and they're about ready to start laying eggs soon, but we just have them on the ground in more of a natural setting for them. We're not quite done with their coop yet, but they are really loving it. We wanted to get them out here on as much land as they can be on, so that way they can run around and make nests and dig in all the mulch and everything, and they have been very happy. We're not quite done with their run and everything yet, but we're just about there, and I want a little bit more experience with them first though before I make a full-on video. So I'm just going to be planting some parsley in this pot. I actually usually plant parsley in here, or petunias, but this year I planted marigolds and cilantro, but the cilantro already bolted, of course, because it just does that. And so I'm replacing it with some leftover parsley that I've had that just need to be planted. And that is actually a grow bag that my husband made. I have a video on how to make 5-gallon grow bags, but my husband made a whole bunch of these little ones using his sealer part on his vacuum sealer. I don't know if it was any easier than using the sewing machine, but it sure did work. He also used some Gorilla hot glue on some of them too, and that seemed to work pretty good. But the roots of the plants seem to really like them. So I'm using this, I think it's called Grow Well. It's an organic fertilizer that I got at Lowe's, and I've been using it the last couple years because it's like, for its price and how well it works, I like it a lot. I like using an extra fertilizer other than just like worm castings and compost. It just seems to really help boost my production. I usually give it to my plants in my pots and in my raised garden beds like 2 to 3 times a year, depending on how much I plant them and how heavy. And I really like it. Welcome to the perennial garden. This is an area of the perennial garden that the chickens decimated pretty heavily last year. I actually found walking onions all scattered throughout the whole yard that the chickens didn't actually completely eat. They completely ate most of them, but not quite all of them. And the ones that I did find, I just replanted them and they immediately started growing. Like the next day, they were already growing. They are so incredible. Actually, some of them were just laying on the ground and growing. There's something about walking onions that they just have this tenacity that they never stop. They are incredible things. So walking onions are pretty fascinating because they create bulbets at the top instead of flowers, and then so that one that I was just touching, that one is already producing some little bulbets and it's leaning over and it has these shoots, and once it gets down to the ground they're going to plant themselves, root in, and grow more plants. You can eat all the different parts of the walking onion. You can eat the bulb in the ground, you can eat the greens, and you can also eat the bulbets at the top. They are a semi-native plant. They aren't entirely native, but they have been here so long that they're kind of considered native-ish, but not really. It's a thing, I guess. According to my husband's friend that gave these to us, he replants areas in like on different kinds of public land and in the forests and things with like currants and things. Actually, that gooseberry that's over in this area too, he gave that to us. And he has the walking onions growing up on a ridge above where he lives, and they're just growing wild, and they've been there for a very, very long time. They just grow there wild and they don't take over, but they do survive and they thrive. So our soil is clay and alkaline, so my husband is adding in some sheep and peat. This is something that's supposed to, it's like a sheep manure mixed with peat moss sort of a thing, and supposedly it helps with the soil. I don't know. We've done a lot of work with our soil and we found ways to make it better. It still needs a lot of help, but our chickens have seriously helped us a lot and made it to our soil is much better than it was. But, you know, and the mulch helps too. It's just, you know, a little bit of a work in progress, but these walking onions do really nicely in our high alkaline and clay soil. They don't need to be planted very deep, and also I find that they actually stand up pretty easily without really tons of soil around them. I don't know how they do that, but they do. When they're ready, they will lean over, and then they grow in kind of clusters and bunches, and so they're easy to go and get a whole bunch of them to dig them out and to give to friends. Then I decided to make a little flip book for my dad for Father's Day. I just came up with this little silly idea of a girl that was playing outside and she gets hit with a ball and a boy laughs at her, so she whistles for a spacecraft to come and like take him up to space. So I guess he gets abducted by aliens. But it was really fun. I think that next time though, I'm going to see if some other kind of cards will work better, because these index cards or whatever they are, like, you know what I'm talking about. These kinds of cards, they just didn't quite flip as well as I would have liked, but it was still so much fun. This table is just a table that my grandparents gave to me actually. They'd had it for a while and they probably got it from a yard sale or something, I don't know. But it was a green color, you can kind of see it on the bottom. And I was a little bit over it, it didn't really go with my other stuff. And I have a very neutral kind of colors on my patio, I guess. So I wanted to paint it white, and I just used the dollar spray paint. That's pretty much what I always use. And it works really good in my opinion, so I like how it turned out a lot. And Thomas goes and he goes, "Ooh, that's really pretty, Mama." So I got his approval at least. So I have been buying lots and lots of plants. I've planted most of them already, but I did have a few that are shade-loving plants for my patio that I haven't planted up yet. So I am just going to be planting some begonias and some impatiens and some coleus. I've been looking for more hostas and ferns and ivies, but the only thing that anyone has had is ivy, and I've been waiting for them to go on sale because I don't really want to spend $4 for a little tiny ivy. But I do want to get some more hostas because the chickens ate 2 of my hostas this winter. They're little stinkers. And I'd also like to get some ferns, but you know, that can wait for a little while. Hopefully we'll end up getting some smaller containers of ferns and hostas, but who knows? This season has been a little bit strange with the availability of plants at the garden places.
Is that one already planted?
No, it's not planted.
No. Is all those planted?
You're cute. That's all.
I think I'm higher than
Yeah, you're higher. I decided to go ahead and move my operations over to a shadier part of the patio because the sun was getting pretty intense over there, and even though it's going to get shady pretty soon, I just wanted to go ahead and get things planted, and that way you can actually kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better. There's a little bit more definitions on the flowers this way too. At least I hope so. I like using terracotta pots because they age really nicely and they just always look so good. I don't know why, I just like them, and I like using pretty much just that on my patio. My plants seem to really like them, even the ones that like a lot of moisture. I have to water a lot this time of the year anyways, and I don't really find a difference between terracotta and my other pots. However, sometimes I can have a little bit of problems with the ceramic pots because they hold so much moisture, and I tend to overwater them. So inside I underwater my plants, and outside I tend to overwater them. What are you doing? You need some love? You know what, Charlotte? I think that pink is your color for sure. Look at this. It goes perfectly with your little ears. Yeah. Oh, you're such a sweet girl. Yeah, you're a sweet girl. Bye. I just love the combination of all these colors. They're so soft and beautiful. Those impatiens that aren't blooming are white impatiens. They've been languishing in their pots a little bit too long. I got them to pot them up at my mom's house, and I wanted to save a couple for myself, and I just didn't quite pot them up soon enough. They don't tend to grow super huge, so I like to put lots of them in the pots. So now I'm repotting my looking glass begonia. At least I think it's a looking glass. I don't know. That's what one of you said it was, and I looked it up, and that's what it looked like to me as well. So this is one of my favorite plants. It's so beautiful and it propagates so easily. These cane begonias or angel wing begonias are the easiest begonias ever. They're the only ones I can really keep alive inside for some reason. The other ones I do okay with outside, but I don't know what's up with these ones. Oh, and I found this huge clod of dirt. What the heck is that? It looks so pretty in that pot. I usually buy the cheaper potting soil and mix in my own compost and things, but they didn't have any of the cheaper stuff at the store, and so I went ahead and bought this, the Miracle Grow stuff, and I mean, it's potting soil, but I found this huge clod of clay. I don't know what was up with that. I got these super beanas on clearance for $1, and they still looked really good. They just were out of bloom. So I thought that, you know, I just might as well plant them up and see if anything happens. these are some of the plants I got previously. I got that Super Tunia Vista bubblegum back there and a lavender. I can't remember exactly which one that is. It's some sort of an English lavender, I think. Or is it French? One of those. And I also got this pink salvia. I got a lupin too. But I thought that this Super Bina would look really nice with this pink salvia. I ended up switching out some of the flowers. I put a bigger one in there, and then I took out the smaller one and put it over there. I think that eventually I want to put a fern in here, but nobody's had any like perennial like outdoor ferns for my area this year for some weird reason, so I haven't been able to get my hands on any of those, which I want a whole bunch of them actually for my patio, but yeah, for now this will do. And I put these down here. They've been out here for a couple days now, and the coleus is doing great. I have my other ones, I'm thinking that I might pinch them back a little farther, but these ones are doing really good. I used to sit out here all the time and use this chair, but now that we have the outdoor couch, I don't sit on this anymore. So I'm thinking about like going ahead and sanding it really with a fine sander, just like a piece of sandpaper probably, and then also like refinishing it all and using it inside. So because I just don't really use it, and then maybe I can put some big house plants out here during the summertime, because I'm sure that more of them would really like it. But I don't know, just something to think about, I guess. I wanted to show you what I meant by the ones that I was thinking about cutting them back. They all have leaves all the way down to the bottom, but I'm waiting for those leaves to get a little bit bigger, and then I can cut them back all the way to there, and then they'll bush out better, you know, and like this one won't be falling over, and I just think it'll look a lot nicer. But I love this color. I don't normally do anything other than like the regular looking coleus. It's just the red and green, because those usually do really good over here, but I just wanted to try them, and I just thought they looked so pretty with the begonias and the impatiens, and I just am really enjoying them. Other than that, they need to be cut back a little bit. You can keep these as houseplants. I never do, because I don't like them as houseplants. I don't know, I just don't really care for them, but I do like them outside a lot. That's all that I have for you for today. My videos have been a little bit sporadic lately just because I've been really busy doing all sorts of different kinds of things. We've been hatching lots of chicks and taking care of them, and my husband has been growing insects to feed our birds and just doing garden things, but also a lot of indoor things. But I'm just wondering what you guys wanted to see. I know a lot of you are here because of the houseplant videos, but I don't know, I'm wanting to go and make some more natural remedy kinds of videos and stuff. More natural living kinds of things too. I'm not really entirely sure, but I've been thinking about it, and it just takes a lot of time to make videos, and I'm just so busy doing things, and I don't know if you guys really want to see me just puttering around in the yard all day trying to make up my mind on what pot to put this plant in for like half an hour. So yeah. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I try to make my, you know, planting videos nice and relaxing for you, so that way they're just pleasant and peaceful to watch. So I hope I accomplished that. But anyways, oh, here comes Thomas. We gotta go play Lincoln Logs some more, so I'll talk to you later. Have a really great day. Bye!